Hi, Lorna. How's it going?
Hi, Krista.
Hello.
It's going really well.
I'm excited to see what you've made for us today. Before we get started, I'll introduce myself. My name is Krista Wilson. I am an independent demonstrator in the United States. And Lorna has been a good friend for a very long time. So go ahead, Lorna.
I think I've known you since you were a young gal, Krista.
I think so.
I'm friends with Krista's mom. And 20 years ago, Krista introduced me to Stampin Up. My 20-year anniversary is coming up in April. So it must be your 20-year anniversary too, Krista.
No, I've actually been doing it a little bit longer because I started in the United States and it's been here a little longer. So it's been 27 years.
Has it really?
Isn't that crazy? That is so
Wow.
crazy. Yeah.
So anyway, we've decided to partner up. We call ourselves Border Buddies. And we decided it will be twice as much fun working together. And so far it has been.
Yeah, it's been great. So Lorna, I'm going to go ahead and I want to see the project that you're going to show us today. Let's see. I think that's it.
Okay, so first I want to show you our information. So I'm Lorna. This is my information in Canada. And the little bit is Krista because she's smaller than me.
I feel that's funny.
And I don't have a US flag yet, but I promise I will. So this is us. If you want to watch my Facebook videos, you can watch them here. I try and put some on every so often. And if you're in Canada, you can order from me here. Here's Krista's website. It's a great website. You have to check it out. And to order from Krista, this is how you do that if you're in the United States. Okay, so I'm going to move that now and just show you the project that I'm going to show you today. So I decided to make a little a gift box for Valentine's using the Turtle Friends bundle. So the Turtle Friends bundle is a stamp set, photopolymer, and a punch. Okay, and so it's a pretty easy project with this bundle. Now, Krista, can you figure out what's inside of my turtle box? It says "You are turtly loved" on it.
Oh my gosh. I think I actually can kind of guess.
It's for Valentine's Day. So I'll give you a hint. It's something sweet for Valentine's Day. This one isn't finished yet. It's a work in progress. So I'm going to show you. Ta-da!
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's
it's
ridiculous.
Turtles, of course. And then this is for my grandson. So of course I have to add in a toothbrush.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm a grandma, you know, I have to add
That is too funny. I love it.
And it just fits. Look, it's like perfect. It's made to be. So he has his own electric toothbrush. So
I bet he is the only person who gets a toothbrush top from his grandma.
That's awesome. with his chocolate. So basically this is a pretty quick project to make because the bottom is made from just any your white thick cardstock, right? And then the top is made from designer paper. This is the designer paper from the Hostess pack of designer paper. It's pretty huge. You get 4 sheets of each. So I had 4 sheets of this. But if you've watched my videos before, I've used quite a bit of it up on Valentine cards. So I had a chunk of it left, just enough to make a box. So I wanted to make, this was my first one I made because I didn't want to waste this if I made a mistake. So there we have the dark chocolate. And this is just made, the top is made from some old designer paper I had. And then to keep it closed, I'm just using a belly band and I stamped "You are turtly loved" on here for Valentine's Day. And the other thing I'm going to do, because there aren't any hearts on this designer paper, is I have a heart punch. And I'm just going to punch out some hearts and put them on here, scatter them around, so it looks more like Valentine's Day.
Oh,
Do you think that would be a good idea?
I think that is adorable. I don't even
So-
know which one I like better. They're both so cute, but they're both so different.
Yeah, and you know, I thought I'm just going to make some with my old designer paper that I have.
Mhm.
I've got tons of it. Sometimes I just have like a quarter of a sheet, which is enough to make the lid. So I'm just going to show you, first of all, how to make the box, because it's not that hard, and you can make them any size you want to. So I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. And I'm going to use just this piece of vanilla because I think it's easier to see than, for sure, designer paper, and maybe even the white. So I'm just going to use that. So there's a scoring blade and a cutting blade. The scoring blade is lighter, and I've actually written score on it so that I always know, because sometimes I've had unhappy accidents where I actually meant to score and I cut it. So now I never have to worry. So the size of my box is the pieces for the bottom are 5 inches by 4 inches.
Okay.
So in order for a lid to fit over top, it has to be a 1/16 of an inch larger, right?
That makes sense.
So it's sort of like, oh my gosh, how do I do the math, right?
Right.
So the easiest way is to take and cut 5 1/16. Now, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to lift it up higher so that it's closer to the camera. So here's 5 inches. 5/16 is the very next little mark here. Okay. If you're in metric, which in Canada, we're both metric and whatever the other one is, we have to do it, remember everything twice, right? So the first one I'm going to cut is going to be 5 inches plus 1/16 of an inch. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to cut that. Okay. Because I'm thinking about the top here. So we're pretending this is designer paper. Then the bottom is 4 inches. So I'm going to add a 1/16 of an inch there. And I'm going to cut that. Okay. So that's going to be my top. Okay. So just so that everybody is able to do this, I'm going to write top on here. So it's 5 1/16 by 4 1/16. Whoops, not 16. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to cut the bottom. So if you remember, the bottom is going to be 4 by 5. So that one's easier to cut, right? So we just cut it at 4 inches by 5 inches. And then it makes making this box so much easier, because you just have to, you see how that trimmed off a 1/16 of an inch there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how much bigger the lid is. It's not very much. Can you even see it? I'll put it up here on the black.
That
See
helps.
there how
Yeah.
little it is?
Yeah.
So it's not very much. Then we're going to score it, because, and I know how much to score it to fit the, how high it has to be to fit the turtles in, and it's 3/4 of an inch high. So you can make this box as deep as you want to, right? So now I'm using the scoring blade down here, and I'm going to score it 3/4 of an inch all the way around. And then we're going to,
go ahead.
and then we're going to score the top 3/4 of an inch all the way around. So they get scored the same amount.
Makes total sense. I love your tip on writing. There have been so many times where I've thought I was scoring and I was cutting. So I love your tip of writing the word score on the scoring blade.
Yeah, I ended up doing that. And actually, I took a marker to my stamp class, to the club, and we marked everybody's who had theirs there that day, because it's really hard. You're working away at it, and then you realize that you've botched it up, eh?
Yeah,
by
never fun.
Cutting instead of scoring. And if you score first, it's not that bad, right? You can still cut it, but if you cut it, game over. So the top, you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch too. And you score all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to take your paper snips. Mine have this dangly thing on just so I can find it. I got it from Stampin' Up. They sent it to me for on stage. You can cut either way. I tend to go on the sides, and you want to do a little mitery thing in there too, which I find is easier to do before I cut it on the score line. So you're going to cut it on the score line, but you also have to cut just a little mitered edge out of there. Can you see that, Krista?
I can, yeah. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
And then I do it on all the sides. And then you're just going to go directly across and do the exact same thing. So you can see for on the camera, I'm not using the designer paper because it's harder to see it on designer paper, right? You have to get your head right in there and all you'd see is my hair. Okay, so I'm finished cutting and scoring. I'm going to get rid of this. And somewhere here I have my bone folder. Here it is. Okay, so you really need to use your bone folder to get all these folded really crisply so that it makes it easier to form your box. And that just takes a second. And now, as far as putting it together, you can use glue. You can use Seal Plus. You can use tear and tape. There's a lot of things you can use. I just want to give you a little hint, though. If you're using the seal, instead of rolling it on this way, because you're going to get it onto your project there, do it the other way. That's like this. Because as you see, I see how I rolled off and I rolled onto here instead of onto my project. Or you can use the glue, Mono-Multi glue. Here we are. And glue, you want to make sure you don't get too much on there because it's going to squish out all over the place. So you can use whatever you want to. Because I have the glue open, I'm just going to keep gluing now. Okay, and then the ends go inside. Now, if you use glue, you have lots of time to manipulate it because it doesn't dry instantly. But if you're using that Seal Plus, you get one crack because you can't really take it off. It's a very strong glue. Okay, so there's my bottom. Or no, yeah, that's the bottom. So you're going to do the same thing with the top. You're going to score it 3/4 of an inch, put it all together like I just did, and then you're going to have the top that fits right over top of it.
Wow.
Okay.
That's amazing how easy that is. What a great tip.
Yeah, it's very simple to do. And, you know, just remember that the top always has to be 1/16 of an inch larger. Okay. Sometimes, I shouldn't even confuse you, but sometimes you might want, you know, the top of the box to be up a little further. And maybe we can do that one day to show everybody how to do it because it's just a wee bit of a different measurement. So anyway, that's how you do that. So that's pretty simple. Then you just have to basically decorate it. And if you're going to use the turtle, you're going to stamp it. Now, in one of my videos, I already showed how to color it in with the blends. And this one I decided, because I'm making a lot, I'm not going to take the time to color them in. I just decided that I'm going to stamp them and punch them out. I think he's going to fit on here, but I'm going to go the other way because I really can't see what I'm doing without getting my head in here.
I think you're doing well.
So always let it sit and hold it so that the ink has a chance to transfer. Because if you just stamp down, pull up, it hasn't had much of a chance to transfer. And sometimes you'll get a little comma mark. Have you ever seen those when you're stamping? It's like you'll get a little comma, and it's where the last bit that you pull up. And I think it's because the ink hasn't had a chance to transfer yet.
Okay.
And it does that funny little comma. Now this is Granny Apple Green. I'm going to use that to stamp the shell. So we're going to ink. Now you notice the other one I inked with the ink pad on top, and that's just because it was a larger stamp and a smaller ink pad. This, I just have to get my head over to look. You sort of need a bird's eye view when you're doing two-step stamping. And it's very simple with the photopolymer because you can see through it. And again, I'm just holding it down and letting the ink transfer for a second. And there's his shell. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I
so
love it.
So this is pretty simple. And then we're going to get the punch, open it up. So to open it, you push that and it pops it open. Okay, to close it, you pull it back down. So that's how these punches work if you've never used one before. Now, I did this the wrong way because I'm right-handed. I have to stand up so that you can see what I'm doing here and I can see. So line it up, and as you close the punch to punch it, just continue to line it up because you know, it just sort of helps to get it lined up if you have the punch closed, and then you punch it out, and there you go. It's that simple.
Very
so
cute.
Then we're going to put this on here, and then I wanted a belly band to hold it closed, just because the turtles are pretty heavy. Plus, I wanted words on, right? So I thought I'm going to make a belly band with words, and so they're going to be in black. These I did in Calypso Coral, the same as the shell. But these words are going to be in black because I want them to stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to ink them up in Momento, Black Momento. Now, if this is your first time using a stamp, just a little hint is, if you have a stamp you haven't used yet, give it a little wash on with your mist, either on your chamois or your Stampin' Scrub. So I think that's pretty straight.
Looks good from
and
here.
It sort of gets, it gets that, I shouldn't be rocking it. That's a bad thing to show you. It gets some of the stuff left from manufacturing off of it so that you get a good stamp. So then you have this stamped. Now this is just a scrap. You know how when you're cutting all your layers, you end up with strips. So this is 3/8 of an inch, and it's just a piece that I have left from when I was trimming my cardstock, and so it fit perfectly on here. So then you're going to hold it on the center, get it centered, and fold it down like this on this side. Fold it down on this side, right? Flip it over, bring it up and over, up and over. Okay, I'm going to trim it off. Now remember, you don't want it super duper tight because you want it to be able to slide on and off the box, right? And then you're going to take your monomulti glue and you're going to put a little bit on here, and you're going to glue that down, lining it up. And I'm just going to test it now and make sure it'll slide on and off before I glue it down for sure and for always. I have a tendency sometimes to make them too tight and then they won't slide. And this one's pretty tight, so I'm going to loosen it up a bit. Just so that it slides easily. There we go.
Oh, that looks good.
So that's a little trick, right? Always test it before you glue it down for sure and for always. Now I got a little bit of glue on the back of my box, and I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to use this glue eraser to take it off after, because if I try and get it off now, it'll just make a mess. Stampin' Up used to sell these and they don't anymore. So this is one that I had and love, and no, you can't have mine. So I'm going to wait for that to dry. I'm going to rub it off because it comes off easily. And then on this box, I put the turtle right on there. on this one, he gets lost, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to mount him on a piece of red cardstock.
Oh, cute.
Just so that he shows up a little bit better, right? And it
It
adds
makes
some
him pop.
interest. Yeah, add some interest to, and you can see him, and I can still see all the hearts on the designer paper. So I thought that was a good idea to do with that one.
Very
So
cute.
the other thing that I like to do is color their toenails. So if it was for a boy, I'd leave it black like I did for my grandson. I left them black. But if it was for a girl, use your Stampin' Write marker, the red one, and just color their toenails in, because it just is so cute when you do that to match the designer paper. So if I was using pink designer paper, I'd color it with my pink Stampin' Write marker. Whoops, it's red, so here I am coloring on the black line. There we go. So I thought it was pretty cute with colored toenails. And then you can pop it up. This one I glued directly down, but if you want it to stand up a little bit, you can use your dimensionals. And they come in a pack of 3 in the package, so you get lots. And I need your mom is the one that always takes the backs off for me when I have no fingernails at work, right? And she does. So I put the dimensionals on and she takes them off. So this I'm going to glue down just with some of the Mono-Multi glue. So I'm going to go around the edge, and you can see I don't put enough on there where it's going to squish out all over the place. And I'm going to decide where I want it, which will be about here, because I want those nice red row of red hearts to show up nicely there. Okay, so that's on there nicely. And then I'm going to use the dimensionals. I'm going to put one on his head. So this is just going to raise him up, and it's going to make it a little bit more interesting than if he's just laying flat on there. The other one I didn't raise up just because I didn't think of it. So now to get these backs off, because your mom isn't here, I have to go like this with this take your pick tool, and it works great for this. Well, usually it works great. We need her.
Oh, you need my mom there.
I do. There we go. And we're going to just pick all of these off. Yeah, for some reason her fingernails work so good for this, and mine don't. Well,
that's a good thing there's a take your pick tool.
I know, because your mom isn't always stamping with me. So I have this tool to use. There we go. So now we're going to just get him on here.
Oh, it's cuter when it's raised. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it is cute, isn't it? I'm trying to get him sort of centered here. How does that look? Is that the spot to push it down?
Yeah,
I think
it looks
so.
Good.
And then you just push them down because they're sticky on both sides. And there you go. So that's pretty fast, isn't it? To make a little treat box.
Yeah. And I bet if you were doing like 10, it would even take less time per box, just because it's something that you could make a lot of quite quickly. So
yeah, and actually I was telling your mom today when she was here that I'm going to make 30 of these.
Oh my.
I'm going to use some of my older designer paper up, because I can punch out the hearts and just put them on to make it look like Valentine's Day. And I work at the hospital. I'm a nurse, and so there's myself, other nurses, there's CCAs, continuing care aides, there are cooks, and there are housekeepers, and there are maintenance people, and everybody's been working so hard during COVID. So I thought I want to show them some appreciation, and I won't put who it's on, but I figure on my next nights I work, if I get a little downtime, I'm going to see if my work partner that night will help me make some of these up. And because they're pretty easy to make and they go together quickly. So I think we can make 30 of them. What do you think? Or am I crazy? I might end up at the last hour working my butt off saying to your mom, please come and help me. So, but I think we could get probably, we work 2 nights together. So I think my work partner, the one, will help me. So I think we'll be able to do it.
Oh, good. That sounds really cute.
So,
Fun.
and then I think I'll just, I'm just going to tuck their name on a sticky note and pop it in here. I'll put everybody's name on there. And when they open it up, I'll have a happy Valentine's Day written on the note inside with the candy.
Cute. Very
So,
cute. I love it.
yeah, I think it's going to be a fun project to do for everybody.
Yeah, I do too. Well, I'm going to turn the spotlight on to my screen now, and I'm just going to show about I'm going to tell about the Sale-A-Bration, which is, let me just move to spotlight here. The Sale-A-Bration, which is the Stampin' Up sale, and the Sale-A-Bration is the best time to purchase Stampin' Up things because you get free stuff. So I'll just kind of go quickly. This set is free with a $50 order, and I'm just going to shift through these. Here you
And
go.
if you're in Canada, you have to spend $60.
Thank you, Lorna. I forgot. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. With this, this is Daffodil Afternoon, and it coordinates perfectly with the Daffodil Daydream bundle. The next one is this cute little girl with the butterflies. And
I got her actually, but I haven't used her yet.
You know what? Maybe we'll use her next time we stamp together. That would be fun because she's so cute. I really like her. And versatile. This seems to be a favorite. I actually have this one as well. I haven't used it yet, so I'm going to have to play with that one.
Yeah, you should make something because I didn't get that one. I'd like to see something made with it.
You know, maybe when we get together next time, maybe you can do the girl and I'll do the car. That would be
yeah.
Then the next paper is the Sunshine and Rainbows, and it coordinates with the Rainbow of Happiness bundle. And then I love this paper. It's called Simply Marvelous. It goes with everything, I think. And
I really like it. Yeah.
You have that one too, don't you?
I do, and I made a card with it using the seahorse die, and I will have to bring it out and show it next time we get together because it turned out so well. It actually uses that piece that's on the top right-hand corner there with the otters.
Oh, okay, right here.
Yeah, I use that piece and it with the seahorse, and it's just beautiful. And I use the diorama die, so I'll have to show it. I don't have it handy here to show you, but I'll dig it out for next time we meet.
Awesome. And then the next set is called Awesome Otters. It's also free with a $50 purchase, and that seems to be a favorite too. And then this set is free. It's actually a set and paper, and it is free with a $100 purchase. And it has both some words and quite a few stamps, and of course the paper just coordinates very nicely. So that one, whoopsie, sorry, I probably made people dizzy there.
And in Canada, it's a $120 order.
Thank you, Lorna.
Boo!
And then this one I love as well. It's called Special Moments, and it's also free with a $100 order in the US or $120 in Canada.
Yeah.
And it has several words, and I have this one as well. I've used the Happy Birthday, and I really do like this one. It hits a lot of sentiments for a lot of occasions. So and then if you happen to have a $300 order, or if you get
$375 in Canada.
Thank you. Then this is free, and this is gorgeous.
I was stamping with that today, and it makes some. It's so simple to use. It made cards very easily. So
yeah,
and if you don't have the amount to purchase yourself, you can have a party or get some friends together and place an order together to reach that amount that you need to get it.
Yes, that is true. So I am going to go ahead and put us back on. There we are. So thank you so much for joining us today, and all the information on Lorna's very cute project will be down below, and there will be information on how to contact Lorna as well as myself. So thank you so much for joining us, and have an amazing day.
Thank you, guys. And thank you, Krista, for hosting us today.
Oh, I enjoyed it. It was so much fun to see you. We'll talk soon.
You bet. Bye.
Bye.